episode. And today we have someone whom everyone on the ham radio field knows about. He is in the community from 1970s and is a life member of the Amateur Radio Society of India. So let's welcome our today's special guest, Atanu Dasgupta, having the call sign VU2ATN. A very good evening, ATN. How are you?
Good evening. I am fine. How are you?
I'm fine also. So, first things first, the thing which I need to tell you, few days back I received my license. My call sign is VU3OOS, Victory from Tree, Oscar Sierra.
Mhm. Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, the first thing which I want to know is how did you start your journey? Like which school you went to, what you did in your leisure time, how did you grew up, where you grew up, little details like that, if you are willing to share them with us.
Oh, yes, definitely. You see, I studied in various schools because my father was in a transferable job. But anyway, when I was in senior class means starting from class 8, I was thinking that I should construct a transmitter because those days everybody used to play with crystal set radios and also transistor radios. So I wanted to construct a transmitter. But obviously, I could not do that time. Still, I went to college. College, in the fourth year, I got some idea about how to go about it. But even then, I could not do until I graduated and not posted myself. My father was posted in Kalimpong, so I could make friendship with somebody, a radio mechanic, and he demonstrated a radio transmitter just assembling in front of me, very small. And from that day, I started, that kind of adventure on the hills. We used to, test the ranges of various transmitters we used to build together. But there is something called amateur radio, which is absolutely licensed and legal. That we came to know, I came to know when I visited Delhi in 1971. There was Asia 71 exhibition, so I went there to see there with my friends. And then from there, somehow I got the information about Amateur Radio Society of India. I went there to meet them. And from there, I got the idea that radio was totally legal in India, and there is a procedure to get it into it. So after returning to Kolkata, I started, learning Morse code, etc. And then eventually in 1973, I got the license. And since then, I've been operating. Even today, more than 20 contacts I have made.
That's very nice. Great to hear. So,
Mhm.
everyone's first time is a very special experience. Our first
Sure.
QSO doesn't fall out of the list. It's a memory worth remembering. So, would you like to share the experience of your first ever QSO? Were you nervous or you were very excited?
In fact, I was both. My first QSO was on Morse code
Okay.
using a using a homemade CW transmitter. Those days, that was the way things used to be operational. So I had a receiver, old communication receiver from the junk from the surplus market, and then I constructed a transmitter, CW transmitter, with the help of my guru, late VU2 Echo Mike, Avinash Mishra. So the first contact I made with him on CW, and immediately I ran to my mother saying that I had done it. So that was the first experience.
It's great. Like first experience always have a special place in your heart. You can never forget them.
So
So, according to you, is there any ideal definition of an amateur radio operator?
yeah, amateur radio operator is someone who would be operating amateur radio. And amateur radio is a hobby that which you pursue for the sake of knowledge and fun without any pecuniary interest.
Oh, yes. So, ATN, for anything, number does matter. Either it is for any movement or survey. Like the number of people having license in our country. But at present, there is a lot of conflict. So, how do you enjoy the hobby today?
Well, I enjoy the hobby the way I started in 1973. Same way, and whatever excitement and enjoyment I have in 1973, I continue that. And it is a continuous process, even today. As I told you, that today also I have made many contacts. And even before we started this, I was already working.
That's something appreciable. But ATN, nowadays, no one is actually having the profuse enthusiasm. As I said, no one talks about researches, but there is a lot of conflict. So, what activities will improve or can improve the culture of ham radio, according to you?
Well, according to me, you see, uh, we have to study the subject of amateur radio very hard. We have to learn technology. We have to learn operating procedures and ethics. We have to learn language so that we can communicate. All these things together will make you a good radio amateur, which is sustainable and also enjoyable. So that is the way we should proceed.
Uh, but today the mindset which actually prevents in people is like that. Why will I give an examination? Why will I avail a radio? And I have to go to the terrace, tune it several times and talk to someone I never knew. I have a mobile phone for that. I can make accounts. I can socially contact everyone whom I don't know. So do you think this type of mindset is really healthy?
No, obviously not. That kind of mindset if somebody is having. And at the same time, one who wants to pursue ham radio, he is not the right person to pursue ham radio. Ham radio is meant for talking to people around the world. It's an international brotherhood. And not only brothers and sisters, you will be knowing today itself. So you continue to talk, know people, enjoy the hobby, learn, technology, learn how the propagation works, learn the vagaries of propagation, and that is the enjoyment. There is nothing, a quick fix enjoyment in this hobby. They come very slowly, but they will be there if you are really passionate about the hobby.
Enjoying the hobby is the only motto of the hobby.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you for your valuable advice. So please let us know about your Radio Shack. What type of equipments you use? What type of antenna you use? Please share it with us.
Oh, sure, sure. You see, I'm sitting at this moment for this interview on my table, Radio Shack table itself.
Okay, okay.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, the camera is looking the other side, so we'll not be able to see my equipment and system.
That's
But
fine, but you can always make it up.
yeah, and I can always describe what I have at this moment on my table. I have my main radio is IC7300 ICOM. That's my main radio. And I have another radio. It is uh, FT757 Golf X-ray. That's an old radio, but it's working fine with me. Then I have my small QRT, micro detect version 6. I do operate that also. I have an amplifier also for that, and I get about if I operate barefoot in micro detect, I get average 4 to 5 watts. But I can amplify that, and for that matter, I have an amplifier that gives about 40 watts of power on 7 megahertz and other bands. Okay. And I have another radio, it is called the BITX 40. That is the first generation in the BITX family. So I have that also operational. And for that, I have an homebrew amplifier, valve type, that is ancient, but it's working and gives me pleasure. As long as you are happy, as long as things give you pleasure, you are happy and you keep going. And my antenna at this moment is a sloping loop, sloping loop antenna. It's tuned at for 7 megahertz. Because it is tuned at 7 megahertz, it can tune the harmonic also 14, 21, 28 quite nicely. And I have an antenna tuner which can match the other odd bands, for example, 18 megahertz and 24 megahertz. So these equipment are on my table and being used regularly. Well, I have other equipment also.
Please, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have other equipment also which are kept in my stock, and time to time I use that. For example, I have another VITX version 4. I have a Nortel 40, and I also have couple of homemade CW transmitters. They are very small, and I operate them time to time, not out. So that is the kind of, and it is always changing. The the appearance of my shack does change always after some time. In regular intervals, you can see my qrz.com page, and you will know I have many photographs there, starting from those photos when I used to use all homebrew equipment. So starting from there, today I'm using mostly 90% commercial equipment, but everything I have there on the photos.
That's amazing. Someday I wish I could have a shack like that.
Oh yes, yes. Besides, I operate VHF. This equipment I talk about around HF. Besides, I operate VHF, joining local nets. I operate UHF, and I also operate DMR, digital multiplex radio. That also I operate time to time. And all animals are there. I have my antenna for them. And on HF, I also operate 50 megahertz. So that's also there. And like that, I keep operating.
That's very good. So we all use the internet today. from an elementary kid to people of any age group. But we mostly use it for our entertainment purposes. So a lot of informative articles are left out. Sometime back, you have written an article on PRF transceiver, but many are not aware of it. So if you will please kindly share the contents of your article with us here today.
Yeah, definitely I can share that. That was written long time back. Not TRF, that is a QRP transceiver. QRP transceiver.
When it was,
Yeah,
you say it was a long time back. When?
long time back. It was late 80s.
Oh my God.
I mean, that time it was published. But before that and after that, I have published many articles, technical articles. But uh, on amateur radio, I'm talking about, and there are quite a number of items. But I don't recommend anybody to look at my that very old circuit,
Old is good.
or that is true. But even then, there are so many new things. I mean, so many new generations of equipment are there. We must check that, and I'm sure younger people like you will be liking that.
Yes. So guys, you should really not waste articles like that. Do read them.
Yeah, sure.
So, technologies have developed a lot of things or a lot of apps have been discovered. So, the social media network have expanded a lot. So, do you prefer the social media or traditional ham setup for community? And if you are choosing one, then why?
Well, I cannot choose one because that way I'm very open-minded. We don't have any fighting between ham radio and whatever is coming up now on internet base. Rather, there is a possibility of great camaraderie between the two, and I follow that. I use lot of internet for the sake of ham radio. There is no problem between them.
Everything for the sake of hobby is always good.
Yes, yes, certainly.
And that's very impressive, sir. But what I feel at present is that we need to promote our hobby more, and we need to promote our hobby more among the student body. So why should the students join our hobby?
Well, students should join the hobby, particularly amateur radio, because it will broaden their views. That is one thing. Secondly, they will know very deeply certain technical aspects of the hobby. And our hobby doesn't have only technical aspects. There are many beautiful things about that.
Yes.
It's an art, It can be compared with any art, ham radio. Only thing is that you have to love it. And if you do that, the gains from the hobby will be immense. For example, the students, they will have the kind of confidence through ham radio on various technical systems. They will know how to interact with people. They will love it, and they will know how to expand the brotherhood and internationalism. That's why ham radio is very important for students, particularly younger people.
That's right. And we stay in the hobby for the love of hobby. Even a lot of persons, uh, years back, the ones who are now very old compared to us, when you started out, they were all home view equipments, now they're commercial. We are here for the love of the hobby, absolute love of the hobby. So,
Sure.
yes. So, with time, the style or trend gradually changes. So, is there any major change of trend you have come to notice before, say 20 years and now? Is it a major change?
Well, not major change. 20 years or 30 years or 40 years ago, amateur it was very much there. It was thriving, and today also it is thriving. Only thing is, those days you have to have everything homebrew, and because nothing was available in the market, if you wanted to import from foreign countries, it would have been a hell of a lot of costly. So compared to that, today equipment are available very easily. Some equipment are available off the shelf. You can simply go and buy. And the purchasing power today is more. So people can have good equipment almost in the very beginning of their hobby career. So I don't feel that there is any big change. I mean, we are 40 years back versus today. Only thing is the interest if it remains the same in particular individual. If you are operating ham radio and getting used of equal radio, nowadays it is much more easier than what we
So the only thing that has changed is the time and the technical equipments. Now you can avail it more, but the love of the hobby the love for the hobby is same.
absolutely 100%.
So do you think we amateurs are free to participate in any kind of social work? Anything we want, we can do any kind of social work out of our own will.
Oh yes, you see, you are doing amateur radio as a hobby. There is no harm of that. Today you can operate radio this time at say 7:30 in the evening. Not necessarily tomorrow you will be operating on the same time. You may not operate at all tomorrow. So it's based on your interest, what you will do, how you will do. Now with amateur radio, if you think that you will also pursue some social work, you can do radio. Do it. Because by all means.
There are a lot of ways of our hobby. Each has a
Sure,
share
sure,
of it.
sure.
So at present, we're having a lot of technical advantages. Now the equipments are also available. We're also having a mobile technology with us. So how can we utilize today's technologies or advantages and have a better communication?
We are doing that. We are doing that already. Because the kind of equipment I have at the moment, not all, some of them are state of the art, latest. For example, MicroBTX version 6, that is something latest. At par with anything in the world. It is made in India and it is right for India. Similarly, I have say IC 7300. That is also a state of the art equipment. And it does, it is not only a radio, it does so many things. Everything is built in. So that is possible only because of the technology. And we also do a lot of things at home, even at home. For example, we are using a lot of microprocessor, we are using a lot of microcontrollers,
Yes.
we are using say, a lot of ICs, a lot of semiconductors, which were not used at all, say 10 years, 15 years back. So we are more equipped because of the technology today, and we are doing justice to that.
So we're totally having the great advantage of the technology with us.
Sure, sure, sure.
So do you think there is any country or continent which needs to come out more in our hobby?
Well, continent, I can really, I mean, definitely
No, according to
the
you,
yeah,
according to
number of radio amateurs is very small in Africa. Now, it's not easy to say that there should be more amateurs in Africa. You see, it depends on the socio-economic condition. So, it's not possible maybe in poorer countries to really go for something, some hobby which is as expensive as amateur radio. I consider India should have more amateur radio operators in India itself than what we have today. Amateur radio operators means the people at radio amateurs who are really operating the radio. So that number has to be increased considerably.
so we need to fix our numbers first.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I think the promotion of hobby needs to be done in our country most.
Yeah, if you do that way, if you yourself are they are active on air, then only people will learn, people will imitate. But if we are not doing that, and we are really theoreticians all the time, then nobody will really take us
That's what
seriously.
that's what Oscar India is about. We love inspiring people. We want more people to come and join our hobby for the sake of hobby. For the sake of nothing, just for the sake of our hobby.
Very nice, very nice.
Do guide us and bless us that we could inspire people more. Okay. So India is a multilingual country. People here speak different languages. So, do you think the number of amateurs is so less because no one is willing to come out of their comfort zone? Is language being a barrier here?
Not exactly that way. It should be considered. If two, three persons are talking who have share the same mother tongue, they can definitely use that language. There is no harm in that. But as I told you that amateur radio talks about international friendship and brotherhood. That's why we should prefer to use a language which is understood by most of the people. So that way, I prefer that you use English. And at the same time, if we talk among our smaller groups in our any other languages, say for example Bengali, if we speak in Hindi, if we speak in Tamil, there's no problem at all. Unless there are people who do not share the language, do not know the particular language, then it should be something common. So English that way best fits the people.
But we are also having the Q codes. So, having the Q codes, would you justify that language is still being a barrier?
No, few codes can give expressions only for very limited things. So that way you cannot really communicate and have a meaningful cure.
I also feel that. So, I have taken up most of your time, but the last thing which I want to know is how the propagation matters in radio. Many people are having doubt in this, so please clear our doubts.
Now, you see, propagation is something which carries our, particularly the nature signal. We have different layers of atmosphere, and at different points of time, signals of the earth, they are charged in a different way with different concentration of ions, because of this sound photo activity. Now, depending on that, your radio frequencies will travel to a particular spot or it may not travel with that sport at all at a particular point of time. But at some other time, it may take you from Kolkata to USA. Everything is possible because they are aesthetic support. That's for the ancient. And because it is variable, there are uncertainties in HF communication. For example, if you say that if you ask me that you come out of your computer and work on HF immediately and talk to me, I'm afraid I'll not be able to do that immediately because I know at this moment the propagation emission on HF between Gurgaon and Kolkata will not be favorable. That much I know. So I will say that I will not be able to demonstrate you that. However, for the local communication, which is point-to-point communication using VHF or UHF or microwave, that is possible. That's predictable. And you can always say that I can contact 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 40 kilometers like that. Okay? Which is not possible on H.
That was very enlightening. Thank you for sharing all of your experience with us. So, do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, my advice is please buy you and your institute. You should buy some radio books, particularly by ARRL and Radio Society of Great Britain, RSGB. So they will give you the basics of everything on radio. Okay? And you will know. And from there, you will know chapter by chapter what way you should proceed and what way you ultimately establish your station. Everything is written there. You have to follow that. And if you do that, the hobby will be sustainable because everything will be done slowly. You will not be spending much, nothing at a time. Slowly but securely for the future.
It was very pleasant to talk to you. In fact, it's Team Oscar's pleasure talking with you. Today we have learned a lot of things about the contemporary radio society. And I hope even in the future we can meet like this and you will guide me to cherish my hobby to the utmost.
Sure, that will be my pleasure. Thank you very much, Pranav.
Our pleasure is the greatest. So, do you have anything you want to convey to our viewers?
Well, whatever I said, that we do and say is a hobby, and just like any other, the hobby which will give you pleasure, which will give you personal satisfaction, and will enrich you regular daily, will instill some kind of confidence in you so that you can deal in your school, in your college, in your in your workplace, and confidently. So everybody should take ham radio as the hobby, the best hobby of all of us.
With this, we would like to end our today's show. Be a radio amateur, not a paper amateur. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, use sanitizer.
Thank you very much. Same thing to you and Oscar members also. Thank you very much. Bye bye.